they really were a little pissed off.
Yeah.
So then I learned something 2 weeks later. I was there, and on the other side of the table was a customer that I brought to Japan. So the next time, I should not ask when somebody else is there. So what happened 2 weeks later, I got an email and they asked me where to send the prints. So I was very surprised because they told me that I was crazy, but still they tried. And I brought in 50 sheets and they sent me back 50 sheets, perfectly printed, exactly within register, as we call it in the industry. So that application, I found out, is possible on that machine. And that's the only machine now where it is possible to print on pre-cut and pre-creased material of 500 micron, even until 600 micron. Well, if you know that, then you can think of all kinds of applications like this one. You order a car. In the meantime that you order and you receive your car, you can get a gift, in this case from Audi.
Yeah.
And behind every screen you can have upgrades, you can have upsells, you can have interesting information for your customer. But it can be a combination of upselling and interesting information. For instance, winter tires. For instance, a new GPS or a new audio system. You can have all kinds of accessoires that a dealer would like to sell to you, but you didn't order yet.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, in these 24 days or 30 days, you can give them an idea, your customer. Hey guys, you didn't order winter tires. Oh shit, I forgot that. Let's order that. So you can use it as, first of all, a nice gift to your very important customer. You can give them the idea they are important, but on top of that, you can make money with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you sell one of the windows, it's at least you make money with it. So winter tires, it's interesting to know that a dealer makes maybe 4 or 5% on the car, but on the accessoires he makes between 100 and 200%. Yeah. So dealers want to sell accessoires, and this is a tool that they can do that. And of course, if you look to the old international things that's happening, like Coca-Cola, share a Coke, you see personalization is getting more and more important, and people really like it. So in that context, this is also something that is very interesting. So we can take care of the name, is okay, it's your car, can be your car, can be your color. That's all part of the database we can manage, and then I think it's a great application that car dealers, the brands, can make money with. Yeah. So this is, of course, I'm now in Germany, so I have 2 German cars here, BMW and Audi. Yeah. Here's one of Alfa Romeo. We have samples from Toyota now. So this is, I think, a new application that works very fine for cars, but in fact it can work for everything that people wait for. So if you order a new kitchen in your house, you have a rebuilding your kitchen, you order a new kitchen, and in the meantime you wait, you can have an upsell of new equipment. Yeah? A new oven, a little bit more special oven with steam, etc. Or we also have samples made for cruising. So you order a cruise, when you order it, you can have a thank you for your order, and you can have a countdown calendar until you leave, but in the meantime you can be invited with free chips for the casino, you can upgrade your cabin, because, and then you can have a video of an upgraded cabin with seaside, etc. So anything you wait for, what you like waiting for, you can use these kind of countdown calendars. And it doesn't exist, and that's maybe a reason why it's difficult to promote it. And it's more or less comparable with about 12 years ago, when I was one of the first that was promoting photo books in Europe. Yeah. And I remember that people, when I walked around with photo books, and in that context people only knew loose photos. And 12 years ago, when you ask people, what do you think about photo books? People of Kodak and Agfa, that were one of the 3 big photo labs in Europe,
Yeah.
they said, literally to me, our customers never ask for photo books. So there is no demand for photo books.
Yeah.
Wait. Your customers have never seen a photo book, so that's why there's no demand.
Yeah.
And I think this is more or less, for me, this is a deja vu a little bit. It doesn't exist, so it's not easy to promote, and that's also why I'm here, to see if we can do some smart things on this.
Yeah.
And there are other samples also what use the big paper size and that uses the fact that you can print on 600 micron, like it's the same counts for wine boxes. This is a countdown calendar for a wedding, a personalized countdown calendar for Christmas, so that's called an advent calendar. Wine boxes in 500 or 600 micron. So if you put a bottle in it, it feels also like a wine box. Because if you do this on 250 GSM or gram or 300 gram, it can look like a wine box until you grab it.
Yeah.
And then if you pull it, and then you feel, wow, the first reaction is put your hand under it, because you think the bottle will fall out.
Yeah.
And if you use 500 micron, it works fine. Yeah. And also a card like this, if you send a jumbo card,
Yeah.
For companies that people, for instance, leave with a pension or somebody's pregnant, everybody wants to write something, and you need a big card. Yeah? But if you do this on 250 gram, it cannot stand. It's fluffy, it falls over. So you need 500 gram. And there are all kinds of applications where you need the grammage on application, also like personalized playing cards. So this is very interesting for artists as well.
Yeah.
If you put on all your how you call it, all your artwork, all your paintings, you can make a playing cards, a set of playing cards from it. Magicians can do this. They can order their own cards now. They do, for instance, they do a show somewhere, and they order 5 sets of cards with his photo and his information. He just leaves them. He can use them. Yeah? So these applications were not possible until recently, and due to the new technology, they are now possible. That's more or less the red line. €15. Let's say you sell it for €15. The printing of the sheet, maybe 50 cents. Then you have the chocolate box. In this case, 24 chocolates. The box itself can hold 30 chocolates, by the way. Let's say your total cost for this box is about €4. Well, if you sell it for 15, then your added value is €11 per sheet. Yeah? Who can tell me that they make €11 per sheet? Nobody. Playing cards, it all fits. 52 cards that fit on one sheet. It's special paper, by the way. It's so-called solar block. So there's a black layer in between the paper. And the screen machine that fits 55 cards, because you have 52 cards, 2 jokers, and a barcode. Yeah? And in the automation we have done, it's fully automated. So from ordering from web to print, so you order, then it's fully automated in post on the big sheet. And when they cut it, this one is on top. Scan it, you get an address label, and the same day it's shipped. and this is sold in UK for, I think the latest what I saw, £14, which is about €17. So
Yeah.
one sheet printing, €17 revenue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah?
Amazing. Yeah.
And if I'm an artist or I'm a father as well, I have samples with my, of course, with my children. So if you go there to the print company, RCS, the most of the samples you see are children. So family photos.
Yeah.
I think there's something here as well. Could be. And I have in my other bag. Which one is this? I think this is the. Oh, this is somebody did for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This is the most beautiful I've ever seen. No, I think I should take this one out. I'll give it to my kids. So, yeah, I think that's more or less telling the story.
Yeah.
Added value, especially for print company or the service company. Great communication towards the customers that will be flabbergasted when they receive it. Very personalized product they sold or bought, their own name, and accepting it on the right day when they can pick up the car or when the kitchen is installed or whatever you wait for. Yeah? So I think it's a win-win-win situation.
Yes.
You like to have a menu, you like to have with the invitation RSVP card, you have a thank you card, and you like to have one or two small and a big box with some candy when everybody leaves. And this is not Nick's party, but Nick is one of the invitees. So, children party, you can go online to ValueCheck, you can order a so-called party pack, and you upload at least 10 names, so the minimum number is 10 in this case.
Yeah.
And then for all the invitees, they are printing one sheet. And it comes through the printer like this. As you see, it's already die cut and already creased. And the only finishing that the printer needs to do, put it in an envelope, is this. This is the finishing for the printer.
Yeah.
And then it goes in a big envelope, 10 pieces at least. And then, they don't touch it anymore, because when the one who's having his birthday receives 10 of these pieces, then the fun starts, because they have to push it out themselves, they have to fold the boxes themselves, and that's part of the party.
Yeah.
Only of course the invitation and the RSVP card, you have to hand out at school or at a sports cafe or wherever your friends are. And it makes life of parents so much easier to have a very nice, fully personalized invitation, menu card, RSVP card, but the same design, the same die cut knife you have for a wedding. Because if you are getting married, you want to have a menu card, you want to have an invitation. And when you're leaving on the wedding, your guests get a small box with some candies, of course, with your, then in that case your photo on it, and maybe a photo of your place for your honeymoon. You never know, you can do it yourself.
Yeah.
So if you go to snapperjack.com, there you see, I think, about 12 or 15 designs with the same die cut knife. So you have girls' parties, you have boys' parties, you have wedding, anniversaries. So you have all kind of momentums in life where you want to have an invitation, where you want to have a menu card, and you can use it for, you can make your own design even. So you can also free design within the die cut. And it's online. And then you order 10, in fact you order 10 sheets, that's it. And one of the big retail companies in the Netherlands really liked this and said, I'm looking for this already for 2 years. And now they start to introduce it. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the most important applications. And there's one thing left, I think. Based on the technology, based on the fact that it can print on its heavy board. If you feel it, this is 400 or 500 GSM gram. If you know it can print on 500 gram, if you know it can print duplex, if you know it can print on pre-cut material, if people know that specs, you can think of other applications as well. Huh? Like you mentioned, waiting list for a new PlayStation.
Yeah.
You can let people have fun during waiting.
Yeah.
And in the case of the car samples, inside the windows we've done a lot of QR codes. Could be augmented reality, etc. So you decide, or the vendor or the brand decide what's on it.
Yeah.
So I think there are a lot of opportunities for new, very high value applications, because all the applications here, except for this one, I think this is a few euro per sheet, not 10. But still, if I look to digital printers and if I see what the average revenue is they make per sheet, maybe 20-30 cents max. Especially when you see companies going for short run offset, like with the, let's say the HP 10,000, short run offset, you can never make a lot of money. So it's always price pressure, and you're talking about cents per sheet instead of euros per sheet. 10, 15 euros, 15 euros at least per sheet. So that's why I really think it's interesting applications.
Exactly, yeah.